How you doing? This is my conclusion for my video presentation to kind of speak about some of the challenges um, with the intervention I chose in working with Carol Smith. Some of the challenges are the nature of Carol's presenting problems are lack of motivation and lack of engagement. So that's going to be kind of touch and go with trying to evaluate practice effectiveness. A lot of the responsibility falls on Carol, which is essentially the nature of a strength-based perspective. In making Carol the expert in her situation, also places a lot of responsibility on Carol, and to place that kind of responsibility on Carol in such a regimented fashion is going to be challenging for Carol to maintain that kind of structure, maintain making checklists, maintain forcing herself to be organized, maintain the responsibility of meeting with teachers, having them sign off on her calendar and sign off on some of her filing system and organizational skills. That's going to be tough for her to do. And for that being tough for Carol, it's going to be tough on practice effectiveness for myself. Another challenging aspect of it is the amount of work that it's going to require for the support services to facilitate some of the environmental accommodations to meet Carol's needs. Her teachers are going to have to work diligently to make sure Carol's engaged, to make sure she's understanding assignments, to take time out of class to specifically meet with Carol. Hopefully there's a classroom aide or some support services that we can employ, because it's going to take some one-on-one classroom support to promote and maintain engagement. So that's going to require a lot of work. That's also another challenge that we're going to be faced with. This intervention itself is going to require a major commitment, a commitment from the teachers that the environmental accommodations are being put in place, a major commitment from Carol, sticking to a strictly regimented organizational system, and a major commitment from myself in making sure and overseeing this process that all the working parts are being managed and being implemented. So there's a lot that goes into this theory. It's a lot of follow-up. It's a lot of mechanics. It's a very mechanical theory to address the needs to support environmental accommodations to manage Carol's symptoms of ADHD. Now, the behavioral aspect of it is not going to be super difficult to evaluate practice effectiveness. We can simply evaluate Carol's relationships. Is she maintaining friendships? Is she establishing friendships? Is she participating in things that used to make her happy, like riding dirt bikes or running? So if she re-engages in this kind of stuff, in these kind of behaviors, we can evaluate practice effectiveness in that area a little more easy. It pretty much requires responsibilities from Carol, but a little bit more leisurely, like engaging in things that that she finds fun, or engaging in relationships and friendships, which essentially can be fun. So that part, evaluating practice effectiveness in that area, should not be as difficult. But the challenges with the amount of work for the interventions of organization and task initiation and things like that, the mechanical parts of the intervention, that's going to be a little bit more difficult and will serve as a little bit more of a challenge. Thank you for taking the time to review my video. Please feel free to leave comments, concerns, questions, anything you may have. It's been a pleasure working with all of you in 506. Good luck with field study. I hope you all have a great summer, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the summer and again in the fall. Thank you very much. Professor Giandonato, thank you for all the positive feedback you've given me throughout the class. I've learned a lot. This has been a really good experience. So thank you all. Have a good evening.